Hey, we are in Sloane Square. Yes, it's Ushine Ishine, and today I am absolutely honoured to have Terry Mansfield CBE with me today. Hey Terry, how are you?
It's a real pleasure to be with you. I've been looking forward to seeing you today ever since you said you were going to come here.
Oh, thank you. Well, let me give you a little backstory to Terry, because he has been in advertising and publishing for 50 years, and he has been doing a wonderful job on what we see in print. So let us know, where did you start?
Well, I started when I was very young, when I was taken by my school at the age of 15 to my local newspaper, the Walthamstow Guardian.
Walthamstow!
And I was transfixed by just seeing the pages coming together, the photographs, the stories. And I went home with tomorrow's newspaper under my arm, and I fantasized all the way home that one day I'd wear a trilby hat, I'd have a press card in my hat, I'd discover some dramatic story, stop the front page, get the story into the newspaper and get the girl. And that was the beginning of what I really wanted to do. My mother and father always actually wanted me to get a proper job.
What's a proper job?
A grown-up job.
A grown-up job.
A grown-up job.
But
very fortunately, I've not been able to find one.
And that is where the dreams begin, I do believe.
Yes, yes. And I was really very lucky because things are so different now. When one of my daughters applied to be a trainee at the BBC, there were 1,000 applications. When I applied for my first job, they said, well, as you're the only one who's applied, we'll give you a go. And if you're hopeless at the end of the month, you will have to leave. So is that okay? And I thought, well, I'm going to try very hard not to be totally hopeless. And that was the beginning.
Wow. And you are about creating beginnings and firsts in your life, because you started at the Hearst Corporation.
Well, I started with a very small advertising agency. I didn't join the Hearst Corporation until 1969. So I had a number of jobs before that time. And also I come from a generation that had to do military service.
Oh wow, okay.
So I did 2 years in the military, and I was very fortunate there because I was able to work for the Forces Broadcasting Service in the Pacific. And so I used to spend a lot of time doing programs called Mansfield's Choice.
Oh, I like that. Did you name it after you on purpose?
Well, yeah, I did. And there would be these letters from girls saying, please give my love to Sapper Snodgrass of 1421 Foot and Mouth Platoon, and the Hands Across the Sea record. I would add a bit saying, she's counting the moments until...
Oh, you'd pad it out.
I'd pad it out, yeah.
That's beautiful. And then when did you get to the Hearst Corporation?
Well, I joined the Hearst Corporation in 1969 to relaunch Harper's Bazaar magazine.
Wow.
I went out to America to spend time with the editor of the American edition and their team, and then I came back, and then we relaunched the magazine in 1969, which was actually the 5th relaunch of the magazine. And there's a certain credibility problem with relaunching a magazine for the 5th time. However, we had a very good team of people. In November 1970, we acquired another magazine called The Queen, and we merged it into Harper's, and thus it became Harper's and Queen. So for several years, I was the publisher of that magazine. And then I moved into central management in 1980. I went out to America to become a real live executive.
Wow!
And then I came back, and then I worked with a very interesting man called Marcus Morris. He was going to retire, and I succeeded him in 1982.
And what did you succeed him as?
Well, I succeeded as managing director and chief executive of the company here in the UK. So we have 1,000 people within the company.
And then tell me, when did you get to president and CEO?
Well, some years later, I was invited by the Hearst board to join the main board of Hearst in the US, which actually meant that I was the very first Brit to join the board for 104 years.
Wow. Now let's rewind that. 104 years. The first Brit to join the board. He was president, CEO. Let me tell you something. That's what dreams are about. Now, how did that feel to become a board member?
Well, it was really very exciting because the company is very diverse. It has 22,000 people in the company, and we are in the newspaper business, the magazine business, the television business, the internet business. We are also in cartoons, so we have Popeye, Blondie, Hagar, Betty Boop, all of these characters. So it's very, very diverse.
Yes, very.
But I owe a great deal to a lot of people. You know, in life you can't do it alone.
No, you cannot.
You have to find people who will give you time and teach you a great deal. And I was very, very lucky that over the years I had to make my own luck, but at the same time people said, well, why don't you give this a try, why don't you give that a try, it should be okay.
And that's what brings me here today, because you can't do things by yourself. And when I met Terry, it was many years ago, and he's always given me time, energy and advice, and for that I'm always truly, truly grateful for. So, and I know how important it is.
It wasn't difficult. It wasn't difficult to find you exciting and also interesting, and also I could see that basically you were very talented, and it's just a question of harnessing the talent, like harnessing steam.
Harnessing steam, I love that. And so what I know that you give so much back to your community and to young people, hence you being one of the, is it the trustees of the Graduate Fashion Week?
Well, I'm actually the chairman of Graduate Fashion, but let me tell you what I feel. I think there are actually 3 stages in life: learning, earning and returning. And so as I'm at the grown-up stage of returning, I think that you have to give back. If you don't give back in life, you lose the luck in the first place. Also, you get a lot of surprises from young people, because you know, in the creative industries, it is from the young, it's from the colleges, it's from new thinking that we reinvent ourselves.
I agree. And what would you say were the characteristics? Because you started in Walthamstow with a dream, and then you became a board member, and you're still doing amazing things. What would I need, or what would that young person need to you know, achieve what they want in life?
I think it's courage. I think it's courage. I also think that what I was very lucky to hear when I was reasonably young, particularly from America, is it's not where you come from that matters, it's where you're going. And so that wasn't being said here in the UK or even in Europe. It is said more now, but at that time it wasn't said. So it was that enthusiasm and that energy. I also think that if you want to make something of yourself, then you've got to have a go, and you've got to be fearless, and you've got to really give every time and energy to it.
I agree. Definitely. I hope you took that in. Time, energy, fearlessness, and that's how you achieve your goals. Now, I know you've got so much more to do, Terry. What would you like to achieve? Is there anything else? You've done so much already.
Okay, well, I think the most important thing I'd like to achieve is keeping good health, because if you have good health, then everything is possible. So I'm quite careful about what I eat, and I exercise a lot, and things like that. So they're basic things. But at the same time, I constantly are looking for new things to do without being ridiculous. I've also I've always been very keen to stay within the creative industries in the widest sense. So whether it's fashion or magazines or online or social networking, it's all part of the creative energy which I enjoy. I've never really seen myself as being the talent. I've always seen myself as being the finder of talent.
Yes.
So if I was in the world of soccer, I'd be this guy who was looking for young people who can play soccer. The same applies in the media business. I'm always looking for young people who have something about them that makes it, you just know that they are going to do something interesting tomorrow, the day after.
I love that. Well, I hope that you have learned, had a vision, and been able to take the time to listen to Terry, because he has a wealth of advice, learning, experience, and he is a legend. So thank you so much, Terry.
It's a pleasure to be here, and I would just like to give one more comment.
One more.
And it's very simple, and it's this. Every day, get up out of that duvet, sniff the air, and act accordingly, and feel, I'm going to really do something today.
Amen to that. Up from that duvet and do what you were supposed to. Hear that? That's Terry's word. Amen to that. You shine, I shine.
Thank you so much.